Hi, Kate. I'm here to do your in.
Hi. Sorry, I couldn't get logged in.
Oh, it's okay. I'm gonna just give it till 1 and then I'll do your intro real quick.
Okay.
Yep,
I want to make sure I don't even know.
do your
Screen share.
slide.
How do I, that's what I do. I have two screens for the first time though. I'm hoping that
Carrie tried to get me on the two screen life and I was I couldn't do it. And I think it was just because one of I was using my laptop and a secondary screen. I think it needs to be like right next to each other for my brain.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see that?
No, it's just you right now.
Oh, great.
My slides were spazzing out at the beginning of yesterday's class too, so
Well, we're gonna not let people in until I get this figured out.
yeah, perfect. I wish I would have done that yesterday because I was like, I'm so
How about now?
I'm still just seeing you.
Crazy. Okay. This
You
might.
just keep playing with it, and then when I see the slide, I will shout out.
Okay.
Oh, I think it's happening.
Okay.
Okay, I see it.
Let's see.
I think you just have to put it in slideshow.
I
Oh,
did.
okay.
Let's see. How about that?
That's
No,
better. Yeah,
you can just see the slide.
that's just the slide. Yep.
Okay.
Perfect. So yeah, I'll do your intro. I will ask if anybody has any success systems that they want to talk about or share, and then hand it over to you. Oh, and your name says Tanya.
Oh, oh my goodness.
And then I'll just stay on for a minute while I and take a little bit of attendance and let anybody in the room that comes in just a couple minutes late too.
Okay. And you can't see my notes, right? You can just see.
Nope, I just see the slide. You're good to go.
Yay. I wonder if I have time to run to the bathroom.
Yeah, go for it. If you're not back, I'll stall.
Okay.
Okay. But it's gonna be fine. I just have to do an intro. I'm not teaching this class. Yeah, no, you're totally good. They can't hear you. Hello, everyone. We're just going to take a couple minutes and let people into the room. Just a reminder, we like as much participation as possible and cameras on if you have the ability to do so. It kind of brings more to the Zoom experience that way. I will start off by opening the floor. Today, I'm Allison Correa. I'm the productivity coach in Keller Williams. I think I saw most of you yesterday. And I will be if you did your daily success systems yesterday, if you had a win you want to share or an aha you want to share with the group before Kate jumps in, that would be great. And then once Kate's on here, we'll go ahead and introduce her and she'll get started with Embrace Your Job Today. Okay, so we don't have anyone that really wants to share about the daily success systems, but I just want to touch again while we're just waiting and have this open time to have conversation, how important doing your lead generation is and making those 10 contacts. If you contacted 10 people yesterday, it's a great idea to follow up today with a thank you note and a one of your business cards inside that thank you note. Thank you for taking the time to have a conversation with me yesterday. Here's my business card in case you want to share it with somebody you know that's looking to buy or sell real estate. that's kind of my piece on the success systems. And again, if you guys want to share anything, now's the time. But I just saw that our team leader, Kate, jumped on. She is our team leader here in Eugene, and she will be teaching Embrace Your Job today.
Hi, guys. Super excited. How is everyone? Good. I would love it if you guys would either put in the chat or unmute yourself and let me know what market center you belong to.
This is Mason. I'm from Sunset Corridor.
Hi, Mason.
This is Stacy. I'm from Sunset Corridor as well.
Hi, Stacy.
Sunset Corridor igual.
Hi.
Hi, this is Sam from Sunset Corridor too.
Wow, lots of people up north.
And then Ellen
Great.
put in the chat that she's from Southern Oregon.
Awesome. Okay, I don't know if you need to make me host, Allison. It says I'm co-host, so. Okay. Perfect. Well, let's get started, and I'm hoping that we don't have any technology issues, but no promises. Okay, let me get my screen all put together here. All right, so we are going to talk about embracing your job today in this amazing industry. So let's jump right in here. In session 1, you discussed the value proposition of being part of Keller Williams. So today in the second session of the Real Estate Expert of Choice, Embrace Your Job, we're going to cover the key priorities a real estate agent has, and we're going to really dive into what it takes to become a great agent. I know that Allison just touched on a little bit of the success systems from yesterday. But feel free at any point during this to unmute yourself. If you have questions, you have a comment, feel free to interrupt me. The more participation, the better. Can you give me a thumbs up if you guys can see my slides? It's working. Perfect. Okay. All right, so I'm going to briefly cover the agenda and objectives for the day today. By the end of today, you'll be able to apply the 6 core competencies of a business. You're going to be able to recognize your role as a fiduciary for your clients. And we're going to review the success systems. So start thinking about, when I just mentioned those things, what you really want to learn and get from today. And you can feel free to jot those down in your workbook or any questions that you want to make sure that we answer. And as we move through, I might answer them and you can cross them off. So I would love to know what part of being a real estate agent excites you the most. If anyone wants to tell me, I would love to hear from everyone, but I know some of you aren't in a place where you can talk. What excites you the most about getting into this industry?
Help some people.
Perfect. Anyone else want to share? Okay, so carrying on. Oh, Stacy, are you going to share? Go ahead.
I was just going to say the opportunity to make a decent career, have a decent career and a decent living while managing my own schedule, because having children and whatnot in this type of world can be quite chaotic. And so I think being able to work for yourself is definitely beneficial, and helping people as well, obviously.
Yeah, great. It's obviously a super rewarding career. Being an agent gives you the opportunity to support someone in making literally one of the biggest purchases and important decisions of their life. So you get to build those relationships with others and then manage your own schedule and live a big life that you design. Behind the big results of a successful real estate career are daily activities and habits, and that's really what we're going to cover today. The steps are super small, but they also lead back to big results. So take lots of notes. These are the things that you'll want to make sure that you implement and you keep holding yourself accountable to implementing. And I call it running the play daily. So these are the things you're going to want to be doing daily and weekly to make sure that you get to live the big life that you're imagining when you enter this industry. Let's talk about the day-to-day activities really quick. So yesterday you talked about the 6 personal perspectives, and this is the six core competencies of a business that we're covering, which is from the book Shift by Gary Keller, which is a great read after you read the MREA. The 6 core competencies of business are the priorities you must focus on as you run and grow your business. So incorporating them into the activities can lead to your success as an agent and business owner when you stick to them and you implement them at a very high level. So welcome to your new job, your sales career. You are an independent business person, and it's important to understand the components of this job. So essentially, you're it. You're your boss, you're the lead generator, you're the admin of all things. So there is a saying, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. I love that saying because it puts it all on you, the accountability and everything to really turn this career into exactly what you imagine. In your participant guide, you're going to see the 6 core competencies of a business listed, which comes from that Shift book. The first one is lead generate. So capture and convert to appointments. Number 2 is present to buyers and sellers and get agreements. 3 is show buyers and market sellers. 4 is write and negotiate contracts. 5, coordinate the sale to closing. And then 6 is managing the money. Number 6 is very important, but I do see a lot of agents not put a lot of weight on number 6. So if you're starting out in this career and you get your finances in order, it's a good thing to do from the get-go and not do halfway through your career or a year down the road. It just makes it all the more easy to pick up that habit and stick with it if you do it from the beginning. Okay, so we've reviewed the overall path of today, and you can see what we're going to cover. So we're going to build on each one of these as we move through today. I will say that this class is not going to go the entire couple hours. It usually tops out about 1.5, so maybe 1, just so you can time manage. Running a successful real estate business involves engagement in all of these 6 core competencies. The first one, let's cover the lead generate, capture, and convert to appointments. If you have no leads, you have no business. You must have leads to sustain a thriving business, which is what you signed up for. We're going to break this down. So you're going to learn, and it will be repeated over and over and over, that your number 1 job is lead generation. It's the daily practice of talking to people about buying and selling real estate. Capturing is about obtaining accurate contact information. So that's name, phone number, email, address, and any other data a person is willing to divulge to you. Capture also means adding new people to your business database. So to Command, your CRM that you're using. So you can actually put them on a drip campaign and stay in front of them, or converse with them, and you can be constantly providing value to them. So when they think yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Kate, I have a question about that, because what is a contact? Okay, I have to put in my contacts in Command, all the agents, all the referrals, for example, contractors, and my friends, my neighbors, my family.
Yes, anyone. I would focus your CRM by starting out on anyone in your cell phone. So any contacts you have in your cell phone, that's going to be your sphere that you want to start running on. And as your business grows, you're going to be constantly adding people in here. So you host an open house and you get leads from there with a name and phone number. You're going to put them in your database with as much information as you have on that exact person.
Okay, perfect. Got it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so another important component of lead generation and capture is that you ask permission to stay in contact with each person. And you're going to learn about the importance of this step as we explore lead generation later in Ignite. So this is going to be kind of your brief overview of the 6 core competencies. We're going to break them down a little, but Mara and whoever teaches like leads listings are going to dive way deep into lead generation and where to put them. This is kind of the 600-foot view of the things you need to keep doing to keep running your business. So remember that we're learning and building on each new skill as we advance through the entire course, is what I'm saying. So this is why it's important you guys attend all the sessions you can, and the ones you can't, message Mara for the recording. Okay, any other questions about this first competency before we move on to number 2? Awesome. Okay. Number 2 is present to buyers and sellers and get agreements. So this core competency is about your skill during the appointment with the buyer or your seller. So presenting to buyers means going through the buyer consultation document, which is going to outline the entire buying process and all the steps that you take to assist the buyer in the process. So you're going to also address any questions or concerns that the buyers have at that time, like what they're looking for, asking all of the questions. And again, you will dive much deeper into this and later in Ignite. But when it comes to the sellers, it's a bit similar. So you're going to present to the seller in a similar way. You're going to go through an entire listing presentation document with them. And that outlines the entire selling process, including the marketing that you're going to provide, along with all the steps you take to assist them in the sale of their house. So it's kind of just explaining the process to your buyer or your seller to get that contract signed. Obviously, the expected outcome of both of these presentations is that your client, whether a buyer or a seller, will sign an exclusive agreement to work with you. So that's the end goal. And then you'll learn all that you need to be successfully present these and obtain a signed agreement later in the course. Like I'm sure you'll get a listing presentation that you can curate to make your own and use, and all of the tools that you'll need to be successful with buyers and sellers. Number 3, this is show buyers and market sellers. So really showing buyers is all about understanding the needs of the buyer and then selecting houses for them to experience with you. When you market to sellers, that translates to marketing their house in the best possible light and via the most channels to ensure that as many potential buyers as possible see that property that are interested in it. And again, this will be covered in more detail as well. The 4th is writing and negotiating contracts. So this is a huge responsibility and one that many new agents are concerned about, and there's a lot of anxiety that can come up if you haven't necessarily been in contracts before, because you get worried about completing them accurately. Good news is at KW, you have so many people to lean on, your PC coach. And then there's also reviewing brokers. Like if Mara needs to ask a question, we have different tiers of levels of support for everyone. So no need to don't let this hold you back. And then negotiating is another competency, and that does require practice, calm, and really a win-win mindset. So remember, it's one of the KW's belief is like win-win or no deal. You want to make sure it's a win on both sides and really a win for your client when you are negotiating the deal. Which brings us to the 5th, which is managing which is about getting the deal all the way to closing. So this is where the buyer gets the keys. This is the best part of the job, is handing over the keys to the buyer. Or the seller releases the home to the buyers and then you get paid. Keep in mind that not all deals make it to close for a variety of reasons. Some might not be at the fault of the seller, buyer, or yourself. And it does take skill, and that is why it is number 5 out of the 6 core competencies is getting that deal to closing. And then we have the 6th and final competency, and it's about managing your money. So on day 1, you learned that a paycheck you get upon closing is not to be put in your pocket and spent. And I hope that she really drove this point home, because I have seen agents get to tax time and have spent all of their commission. And there will be expenses to pay. And yes, that taxes. So that must be saved for, and I highly recommend just putting in a separate account that you don't touch for that tax time. And there is a great Keller Williams University course for you to take, and it's called Profitability. It's really agent financials. So it gives you all these tools and teaches you how to manage your money in a really smart way. And if you take it at the beginning of your career and you implement it, you won't have to do this halfway through and you won't be scrambling. It's usually offered either within the Northwest region or at an international level. I'd be happy to look into that and pass that information on to Mara, and she can let you guys know when the next one's available, but it is a really great class. Do we have any questions before we move on to my favorite subject, mindset? Perfect. All right. So there is another essential component to this job, and it's mindset. Your mindset each and every day. We talked about, well, Mara talked about mindset on the first day at launch. And you've got the Keller Williams belief systems along with the 6 personal perspectives to keep you going strong. Do you guys remember the 6 personal perspectives? It's where they, it looks like this. So commit to self-mastery. It'll keep you really focused and honed in on what you should be doing for yourself to keep your mindset strong through deals that don't close or a day of lead generation that goes bad. Mindset is super important. So it is obviously super important to keep your mindset programmed to success and continue to believe in yourself. There may be days when you feel less accomplished, and you'll need to pull yourself up and keep going. Maintain a mindset focused on being of service. So helping others, adopting a mindset and a philosophy of contributing to the lives of other people. This allows you to be direct and to the point in your interactions with others. With a focus on contribution and being of service, you'll communicate more effectively with customers and win their hearts and minds effortlessly. So you're going to want to keep that energy, enthusiasm, and a deeply rooted belief in doing the best job possible for each and every customer. And that really does attract people to you. So take every opportunity to educate the people in your personal, professional, and social life about what you do and how you can help. So these reminders for people in your network can lead to a lot more referrals in the business. So keep that successful mindset, keep reminding people you're here to help, and just really hone in on that mindset.
I have a question, Kate.
Yeah.
Okay, I know in this business you have to be really patient with your clients because you can show many houses and that is not the exactly house that they want.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make some pressure about my clients. For example, I can give you 3 houses today in order that they just check in Zillow or something like that. Okay. How long or how often can you send some houses to your client Every week, every 2 days?
As often as houses come up on market that meet their criteria they're looking for. And you'd actually be shocked. A lot of people do fall in love with one of the first like 3 houses they see. Because you're gonna know exactly what this buyer's looking for, what their family needs are. And you're gonna just pull those houses from the market from MLS and show those properties. So it's already in the realm of what they're looking for. You can show them as many as you are able to. I do know that Mara actually just did an Instagram post of when it comes to her clients, she's never going to pressure you. If you want to go look at the same house 3 times, she'll take you to look at the house 3 times to make sure that you're really making the choice for the right house, because it's a huge purchase, right?
Yeah.
So you can show them as many as meets the criteria that they're looking for. Some people are super specific and others aren't so much. So if you get tired of just showing a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a large backyard, you might be able to dig deeper with your clients and ask them, what else matters to you? Hardwood floors. That way you can weed a few more houses out. Do you want the roof to be, new? Like within the last 2 years, is that a deal breaker for you? So you can really talk to the buyer's agents, and that does whittle down how many houses you'll show them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, did that answered it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a big decision for them. And to pressure, really, you can't really pressure them to make a wrong decision, because it's such a big deal to them that they won't just pick anything.
Oh.
And you also make sure that they're pre-approved and everything. You're not showing people 50 houses and taking up your time if they're not like pre-approved, because then you're just wasting the time that you could be showing people that are actually ready to buy.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 second. All right. So here is a quote from Shift. It's about the importance of the 6 competencies to reaching your highest potential. So to achieve your highest potential of the 6 core competencies must be done consistently and done well. So you try and do them always at a high level, and you always keep them moving. So don't drop them off and quit doing them 6 months into the business. When you start lead generating today, it usually takes 90 days to get those seeds to produce a buyer or a seller. So you never want to stop. If you start getting busy, and you're like lay off of lead generation because you're busy, next month you're not going to have anything in the pipeline. So it's really just sticking to these and keep working them. Do you guys have any ahas from what we've covered so far? Okay, we're going to move on. So now we're at recognizing your role as a fiduciary for your clients. Now that we've introduced the 6 core competencies, you know how the essentials of what your job is as a real estate agent entails. There are 2 ways that you can serve your clients as a fiduciary, or you can serve them as a functionary or a fiduciary. And we're going to cover what this is. So we learned just a few moments ago how important it is to maintain that mindset focused on being of service. So let's imagine really quick, we're doing business with a company, for example, a car repair company. They don't really care about your needs. They just focus on getting the job done and getting paid for their services. They don't build a relationship with you, or usually they don't stay in touch during the job or after the job. Now, I want you to imagine doing business with a different car repair company. This one listens to you. It anticipates your needs. It helps you make the correct decisions. It educates you on the entire process. It acts like a partner in the process. It keeps you updated on the status of your work, and even follows up with you after the job is complete. That's the difference. The first company is acting as a functionary, and the second company is acting as a fiduciary. Your role, and this is super important, as a respected and successful agent is to be the latter. You want to be the fiduciary for your clients. You want to go above and beyond. You want to stay in communication. If a few days go by, you can let them know that nothing on the market has actually come up that meets their criteria, but you're still in contact with them. They're not just sitting at home wondering what happened to you. You're always going to want to up your communication and just really come from a place of service. In the millionaire real estate agent, a functionary is one who is a specific task relationship with their clients. They do the job. While a fiduciary is one who not only does the tasks of the job, they're also in a high trust relationship with their clients and feel a total responsibility for the outcome. This is especially important in real estate when people are making that most expensive purchase of their life. You want to think, why would a prospective buyer or seller prefer to work with an agent who presents themselves as a fiduciary versus a functionary? And that's because a fiduciary places their client's interests ahead of all others' interests, including their own. So what does that mean? It does come back to the win-win or no deal. So if a transaction does not benefit the client, it's a no deal. Being a fiduciary is a huge deal. It's an honor. It's more important than ever in today's market to wear this badge of honor proudly. So helping your clients understand your fiduciary role is a big part of what you offer as an agent. So let's talk about a few examples of how you can serve as your client's fiduciary during a real estate transaction. Let's see here. I'm not going to open this up. It says break you guys out in groups. We're not going to do that. But let's talk about the first 5 core competencies and how you can serve as fiduciaries for each of the first. Let's start with 1, that lead, generate, capture, and convert to appointments. So acting as a fiduciary, you can anticipate the needs of someone in your sphere who is considering selling their home by following up with them regularly about the current state of the market. So giving them stats on the market, letting them know that it'd be a great time to list now. So just keeping that communication open. The second one is present to buyers and sellers and get agreements. So how can we be a fiduciary in that? By educating your client about the home buying, selling process. When it comes to showing buyers and marketing sellers, you could advise your seller to consider multiple offers to have the most beneficial outcome. When it comes to write and negotiate contracts, you can be a fiduciary. You can use sound judgment and intuition when writing and negotiating a contract to garner the best results for that client. And then the last one was coordinating the sale to closing, and how you can be a fiduciary in that is really partner with your client who's buying a home to hire a trustworthy home inspector. So really being a fiduciary for your client is kind of going above and beyond. It's doing your job, but doing it for the act of service to help them, and really doing it at a high level. Okay, so let's talk about how you can serve as a fiduciary for the 6th core competency of business, so managing the money. So, and this one's a little complex. So managing your money, it really means being responsible about how you handle your finances. And this is, just think about this. Would you trust someone with such a high dollar purchase if they couldn't manage their own finances? Of course not. So if you can't manage your own finances, why am I going to trust you with the biggest purchase of my life? In addition to giving validity, managing your own money leads to financial security, obviously. And financial security provides you with the freedom to be discerning about which real estate transactions you become involved in or not. There may be times that you choose to decline a deal because it doesn't allow you to remain in high integrity with yourself or client. So if you have financial security, you can turn down that deal. you might recall yesterday they introduced the KW belief system, the Y4C2TEs. And that is really your guidepost for knowing how to serve as a fiduciary for your client. Do you guys remember that? The win-win or no deal, integrity, do the right thing. You're going to hear it many times here at Keller Williams, but as long as you stick to that, it's kind of going to keep you in line with really making sure that you stick to that fiduciary over functionary for your client. Okay, do we have any ahas from that section or any questions? Perfect, let's keep rolling. Okay, so we're going to review the success systems. So in this section, you'll be introduced to your daily success system, which is part of your daily Ignite course. The success system gets you in the habit of lead generating while in the company of your fellow Ignite participants, and whoever is facilitating the class can support you on that journey. So we talked about the first one being lead generation. Without leads, your business cannot sustain itself. In The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, Gary Keller states, what you have to embrace is the fact that it is the number of qualified leads you have that will either grow your business, keep your business, or put you out of business. Nothing else about your business will have as big an impact on it as the number of leads you have. So does anyone have any idea of why cultivating leads are so essential to the success of your business? I'm going to tell you. So although lead generation and lead follow-up are the most important priorities you have when running and growing a thriving business, sometimes it's going to feel uncomfortable to do. Sometimes looking at that phone, it looks like it's going to weigh 10,000 pounds. I promise you, after you get through the first one, it becomes much lighter. Feeling at ease when talking to people you know and don't know about how you can help them with real estate needs is a skill that is going to take a little bit of time to develop. One of the best ways to feel comfortable communicating with potential leads is by role playing and practicing the most common conversations you will have with your clients, potential clients, and then other agents involved in that real estate transaction. It's also imperative to have an accountability system in place to support your consistency in lead generation and lead follow-up. So I do know in launch, Mara talked about accountability partners, which is a important thing. Hold yourself accountable. Accountable people achieve results others can only dream of. And it's a critical part of achieving your goals. So when you report to someone else on your progress to your goals, you gain more focus and motivation. You can cheer each other on, you can give each other tips. Think of accountability as a process. So it is difficult to maintain drive over long term, but when you must defend your activities to an objective observer, it becomes easier to stay focused. Accountability is about getting and implementing feedback. You must take time on a regular planned basis to meet with whoever is holding you accountable, to look at your numbers and to refocus your efforts. It's really easy to get squirrely in this industry because there's lots to do, lots of new marketing, lots of shiny objects. And really, if you stick to these 6 core competencies, it'll get you really far. And if it'll get you even further if you have someone holding you accountable. So, if you have not had the chance to pair up with someone that's going through this program with you, I highly suggest sticking your information in the chat and connecting outside of this class because it's a great benefit. It increases your productivity and it keeps you on track to check in with your goals. So you provide accountability for your partner and your partner is going to provide accountability to you. I'm going to tell you what they suggest. They suggest that you follow these guidelines that I'm going to read to you that are they're also listed in your participant guide when you provide and receive accountability. It's important to provide a safe place to share, follow through with action items, listen and pay attention while the other person shares, set a frequency of checking in with each other. So make sure to get it on that calendar. Dig deep to find out why you do the things you do. Respect each other and the process. Create a commitment and stick to it. Be open to receiving feedback. Give specific feedback. And then have each other's best interests in mind. So it's the safe space is a really good thing to live by, because if you're in a safe place to share, it makes everything easier. You can tell them like how hard a conversation you had was with so-and-so and this. Do you have anything I could come back like objection wise? Give each other tips on objection handlers and all of that. So if you don't have an accountability partner, please connect with someone and get some time on the calendar that you guys can check in with each other on your goals and make sure that you're on the right track. So I'm going to skip this slide. And I know that Mara will probably whoever's teaching next will bring this up again. It will consistently be brought up until you do find that accountability partner. Okay. Give me 1 second, because we're not going to do this. We're going to do this. All right. So find that accountability partner. Okay, so if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. So the success system may seem like a tall mountain to climb, everything we've covered, and it can be achieved by measuring and improving every day. Top agents, they do measure their important numbers so they can improve. So start measuring now and condition yourself to this habit, and then you're going to be really happy you did. So if you're making 20 phone calls a day and there were, 10 people answered and you had conversations with 9 of them and you got an appointment with 1 of them, like if you start tracking your conversion rates now, you'll be able to see how much you've grown in a few months, because you'll start closing more conversations into appointments and so on. So tracking is really important to keep you motivated and to keep that mindset of success. So the first activity on that daily success system tracker that you guys have is to engage in 10 conversations with people that you know daily. So you may wonder, like, what am I supposed to say in these conversations? This makes it really easy. So yesterday you were introduced to the Ford method, or whenever that last class was. It might have been yesterday. The Ford method is an approachable way to start a conversation with someone in your sphere of influence. So this is someone you already have a relationship with. It puts the focus on the other person. It shows them that you care, and it puts the other person at ease. So they're not thinking, oh, what are they trying to sell me right away? What are questions you could ask a member of your sphere about family? So thinking about these ahead of time, I have found it helpful to take a peek at their social media before you make a phone call. See if a kid has graduated. Did anyone have a birthday? That way you can, did they just go on vacation? That way you can kind of get an idea of what questions you're going to ask. Besides the Ford method, you can always share gratitude and appreciation if you come up short of running this conversation. So gratitude and appreciation is always appreciated, right? So we all love that as humans, to be told that we mean something or to say thank you. So you could always fall back on that during your conversations. There are some best practices. Ford is not an interview or interrogation, so remember that. It is meant to stimulate a conversation. So it's going to stimulate a two-way dialogue. When you use Ford, your role is to ask questions and then listen carefully without interruption. I find it helpful to have a notepad. You can jot down little things that they say, and you can even add those into your CRM. So next time you talk to them, in the notes section, you can see like just got a new puppy, and you can put down their name. Yeah.
At this time, I trying to do something else. For example, I working with the people that actually they don't know that I am in this business now. And I make some calls and some messages, just make a notice about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know that I am in this business now, if you have some referrals, but not afford, not about the family, not about the education.
Yeah.
Is this correct or not?
Yeah, I mean, it's your business. You can go about it how you want to. So what you're saying is you're getting in like warm conversations and you're not telling them you're an agent yet.
Okay,
Is that what you're doing?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yes, the thing is I have had, I've known agents that because they don't say that they're an agent, like their stepmom even forgot that they were an agent and referred her friend to someone not them, where because they didn't say I'm an agent enough, like hello, I'm here. People forget because we're constantly surrounded by squirrels, right? Social media, there's so much fast happening in the world that our minds don't really listen and hold on to information. So if you can you're coming at it from a place of being helpful, so it's not necessarily salesy, right? If you ever think about buying a home, let me know. I would love to help you. Things like that, I don't find salesy. If you call and go right into that, it's salesy. But if you lead into it, it works. And you can have warm conversations. You don't have to follow forward. I use this if I like get blocked and they throw a question at me that I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, how's the family? I kind of bring it back. So this is helpful if you ever get stumped.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
Yeah. So asking more questions is especially important because people want to feel like you're interested in them, and they also have to be appropriate questions. So if a person answers an occupation question with, well, I got laid off and I'm on unemployment, you wouldn't jump right into a recreation question and be insensitive and rude and be like, well, what'd you do last week in Hawaii? You know? Instead, you would say, well, how can I help? Would it help if I got, if I can ask around who's hiring and find out if anyone is looking to hire? Would that be helpful for you? So you're, again, coming at it from a service standpoint. Likewise, if a response to an occupation question is, I just started a new job, you wouldn't respond back with, so what do you like doing for fun? So really you have to play off of these in an appropriate way. Just don't follow FORD. Like make sure that you're responding back with the appropriate response. So you would ask like, well, how's that working out for you if they got a new job? Cool. Where are you working now? What are you doing? Do you like it? You like your coworkers? Stuff like that. But it's really just getting them engaged in conversation with you and then taking notes. So next time you talk to them, you can be like, well, how's the new puppy? Oh, he must be 6 months old now. You know, is he fully potty? Like people know that you care. All right. So,
I have a quick
okay, do you have a question?
Yeah. Is there any good example conversation for dreams?
For what?
For dreams, the part.
Oh, like dreams?
Yeah.
Like what they're hoping to, yeah, not on here, but they didn't give me an example of that. But I would say like that one would be I'm saving for a trip. It's been my dream to always go to Italy, take my family to Italy. Like, oh, where are you planning on? Why Italy of all places? You know, I love pasta. Oh, what's your favorite pasta? You know, it's playing off that. So like I think dreams would be like aspirations or goals is a good way to think about dreams. Like
Mm.
if someone shares a goal with you, like they're, you know, planning a trip to Disneyland, with their family, and that would fall under a lot of these, right? Family recreation, dreams. But I kind of think of dreams as like their big goals. And that can also play into, you know, when is your goal to purchase? Because I remember you saying that you were looking into purchasing 2 years ago. Have you gotten any further in thinking about that type of thing?
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. And when you guys get more into the database of Command, you're going to see where you can put all of the information, and you can even, there's a notes section that I like to keep, like again, the puppy notes or any sort of notes, or kid just graduated, or child is graduating this spring. You can even set a reminder inside Command to send a happy graduation letter that will pop up in like 4 months. So as you go through the database part of Ignite, they're going to dive way deep into this, and you are going to be able to set up all of those little reminders for yourself. It's really helpful to have a notepad while you're going through your lead gen, or have Command up that you can be typing notes in so you can remember. Do we have any ahas about anything that we've talked about, or any questions so far? I would highly recommend putting together your daily success system and start doing that today if you haven't already started. Okay, so let's see here. We've come, like, this is the end of the lesson. So now we're going to move to our success system time. The way this class used to work is people would spend an hour and a half lead genning on the phone, but Mara, I think, just collects your numbers now, and you do that on your own time. But write in your participant guide, as you grow through these areas, keep notes on how you've grown through these 6 competencies in your participant guide, how your numbers are going, how many calls did you make, things like that. And then taking the time to reflect on what you've learned is also super important when building your confidence. And don't forget to celebrate your growth, you guys. Every day you're going to be growing in this, in your business, even if they're little wins. Some days you're gonna have huge wins, some days you're gonna have little wins, but little wins are still wins. Let's see if they actually list. Okay, they don't. But in your packet, you should be able to see, I think you make 10 phone calls a day, you write like 10 letters. Is that part of your participant guide? I don't have it printed out. Whatever Mara is having you do on your own time and then collect your numbers, make sure you're doing that daily, because that's really going to get you guys off the ground and running. Do we have any other questions before I let you guys go? And I highly recommend you jump on your phone and make some phone calls and just connect with people and see how they're doing. All right, you guys, thank you for joining me. That was about an hour. Go make some calls, make it a powerful afternoon.
Thank you, Kate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.